Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and sometimes mind-boggling side of tech available on the interwebs. I'm your geek champion, Ray McNeal. Before we kick off the program today, I did want to welcome a new broadcast partner, NCW Life TV in Wenatchee, Washington, USA. To all of my new viewers in the Wenatchee Valley and all of North Central Washington, I really hope you enjoy the show. Coming up on the program today, Australian boys recreate a life-saving drug for pennies on the dollar. Netflix now allows users to download select movies and TV episodes to watch offline later. And in today's What The, an attempted burglar was found stuck in an air vent of a New York pizzeria. All that and much more coming up on your weekly tech update next. Hi everyone. If you've dabbled with building your own media center at some point or another, it's likely that you've encountered either Plex or Kodi. Both started their lives as offshoots from the famed Xbox Media Center software, but over time the propositions have diverged, with Plex embracing subscriptions and Kodi, well, remaining open source. In the past, that meant if you wanted to use both programs, you'd have to pick the one that worked best for your project and then use a third-party app to combine the two. But Plex has decided to embrace its streaming counterpart by launching an official Kodi plugin. The new plugin includes most of the features that you'd come to expect from Plex, which means it'll play back nearly any video and music format, and of course cleverly categorize all of your media and music for you. It simply lets you run the two media centers simultaneously without losing any of your customizations, and it's currently only available to Plex Pass subscribers. It doesn't yet work with the Plex Companion remote control app either, but it does sport a brand new UI that Plex says will help showcase some of their new thinking. To please free users, Plex is making its Media Player app, which launched about a year ago, available to everyone. It's also integrated its powerful web app inside the Media Player, allowing you to switch between an easy-to-use desktop window and a dedicated full-screen TV user interface with the click of a button. In this week's medical news, U.S. Executive Martin Shkreli became a symbol of greed when he raised the price of a tablet of Daraprim from $13.50 to $750. Now, Sydney school students have recreated the drug's key ingredient for just $20. Daraprim is an anti-parasitic drug used by malaria and AIDS patients. The Sydney Grammar Boys, all 17 by the way, synthesized the active ingredient in their school science laboratory. It wasn't terribly hard, but that's really the point, I think, because we're high school students, one boy, Charles Jameson, told the BBC. The students produced 3.7 grams of the stuff for just $20. In the US, the same quantity would cost $110,000. In most countries, including Australia and Britain, the drug retails for less than $1.50 per pill. In astronomy news, for the first time, astronomers have observed a strange quantum phenomenon in action, where a neutron star is surrounded by a magnetic field so intense it's given rise to a region in empty space where matter spontaneously pops in and out of existence. Called vacuum birefringence, something like that, birefringence. Yeah, there you go. This is how it's spelled. The bizarre phenomenon was first predicted back in the 1930s, but had only ever been observed on an atomic scale. Now scientists have finally seen it occur in nature, and it goes against everything that Newton and Einstein had mapped out. An international team of astronomers made the discovery while observing a neutron star that's 400 light years from Earth. Neutron stars are the crushed cores of massive stars that collapsed under their own weight when they ran out of fuel, and they exploded as a supernova. They're made of some of the most dense materials in the universe. In fact, just 1 teaspoon of the stuff would weigh 1 billion tons here on Earth. And their crust is 10 billion times stronger than steel. Neutron stars also have the strongest magnetic fields in the known universe. Astronomers predict that the strongest neutron star magnetic fields are nearly 100 trillion times stronger than Earth's. These magnetic fields are so ridiculous, they're thought to affect the properties of the empty space surrounding a neutron star. In the classical physics of Newton and Einstein, the vacuum of space is entirely empty. But according to quantum electrodynamics, a quantum theory that describes how light and matter interact, it's predicted that space is actually full of virtual particles that pop in and out of existence and mess with the activity of light particles or photons as they zip around the universe. These virtual particles aren't like regular physical particles, like electrons and photons, but are fluctuations in quantum fields that have similar properties to regular particles. The big difference being that they can appear and vanish at any point in space and time. In regular empty space, photons aren't affected by these virtual particles and travel without interference. But in the empty space near the incredibly intense magnetic field of a neutron star, these virtual particles are excited and they have a dramatic effect on any photons passing through them. The next step now is for the observations to be replicated in another scenario to know for sure that vacuum birefringence, again here, is what we're looking at here. And if that's the case, we've got a whole new phenomenon to investigate in the field of quantum mechanics, and that could yield anti-gravity or faster than light travel. And this week, Netflix finally has addressed one of its biggest pain points over the years by allowing users to download select movies and TV episodes to watch offline later. While Amazon Video has allowed users to do this for years, Netflix has long featured content that was unavailable by its rivals. Consequently, subscribers have long clamored for the ability to watch their favorite movies and TV shows offline, such as when they're on long flights, or really anytime you're away from Wi-Fi and on limited mobile data. The company has long resisted making offline playback available, but announced recently that the latest app update includes the long-awaited feature. Starting now, Android and iOS updates have hit the Netflix app, enabling offline playback for select titles. Now, not everything in Netflix's library is available offline, but a good majority of the content is there. Netflix originals are, of course, a safe bet to be available, and I found quite a few other titles available too. For example, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, one of my favorite TV shows, is available for downloading and viewing offline, and that show is a relic from the 1990s. According to the Play Store description on the Netflix app for Android, offline viewing is not available on all devices, so it could depend on the device you have. If the option doesn't show up on your particular device, even for a Netflix original, well, it might not be supported. Just try rebooting, relaunching the app again just to make sure. If it doesn't show up after that, well, you may need to wait a bit longer for your device to be supported.